Dan Rothenberg and Joe Klosick, two guys trying to figure it out. Not the right wing, not the brosphere. Left of center, with humor and empathy. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Splain.
The Splain.
The Splain. Like us and subscribe to us. Where are we at, Joe? I'm proud. Where are we at? 32?
Okay.
Hit that.
We're at 32. We're doing okay.
32. All right.
We're experiencing what I like to think of as a strategic plateau.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I agree. That's just all that we're just gonna have to strategize. We're finding ourselves.
We're
I
finding
have a feeling
ourselves. Yeah.
there's something in here, and it's funny. I hear a lot. I try not to. You hear a lot people sort of saying, two guys and a microphone, and now you have a show. Everybody's got a show. But I like to think we have a little more going on than that. We're both comedians.
Yeah.
You are a present comedian who actually performs.
I'm still in the game, baby.
And as far as I'm concerned, we're open micing it a little bit right now.
We're figuring it out, but just point of correction. It's not two guys and a microphone, Dan. It's two guys and two microphones.
Two microphones.
All right.
Yes.
Let's.
Thank you for
we spent some money.
correcting that. We did spend some money.
We're doing this
on
right.
some good microphones and good earpieces.
Yeah.
And
you think this hat was cheap?
Uh-huh.
This was a $30 hat.
Well, that's a pretty hip hat.
That's a pretty hip hat.
You're
Especially
coming
if
up.
you were born in '68. It's really hip. And
yeah.
Oh
yeah. Oh, I recognize that.
Yeah.
That's some vintage shit, man.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving, buddy?
Very good. I went to the in-laws. We had a variety of dishes, which was nice. My little contribution is kugel. And kugel, yes, Jewish.
Served at the first Thanksgiving. I believe the Indians.
I'm finding, I know this is kind of a hacky old person thing to say. I can't handle that meal like I used to. I don't bounce back. It's the closest thing to, it's like, it feels like a relapse to me. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of a hangover I get sick and nauseous. And
Oh wow.
Maybe I just ate too much. How about you? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was pretty intense, but in a good way. So Christine and I made a turkey, and it was like adopting a baby because first you gotta special order it, and we had to pick it up a couple days early because you want it fresh. And the guy
grown up.
Oh, so grown
up.
It's nuts. Like if I would have seen this guy I am like 10 years ago, I would have made fun of him. Like
you are
idiot.
Just a conventional.
Yeah, just life in the suburbs, picking up a turkey from a Sprouts, which is like a fancy Trader Joe's. And then we pulled it up. We dry brined it. Now it's turned into a cooking show, which you kind of feel a little bit like a serial killer because you're getting under the skin and you're rubbing salt into the flesh, and it was mildly erotic. I will admit to that.
I did that last year with the brine. You get in there. It's a little creepy.
A little creepy. But it turned out amazingly good, and a big source of our anxiety, at least my anxiety, was so Christine and I weren't really going to do anything, and then it just sort of happened that an aunt who is at the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, and she lives about 45 minutes away. She was like, "Hey, maybe you guys could come here," and then one of her children was going to come up with her husband, so that suddenly it turned into, okay, there's going to be 5 of us. And the thing is the daughter of the aunt with Alzheimer's, she's a chef that goes on tour with God, what's the name of them? Coldplay.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so she's like
That's
their chef.
bigger than I was expecting.
That's huge. That's huge, right?
Coldplay.
So it's like
Wow.
we've got a master chef coming, and she it was amazing. She actually made the gravy, which was great. She brought stuff and she brought so much food. But I was like, oh
Hmm.
my god, we're gonna get judged. And she was very nice, and she said we did a good job, and that's all I needed to know.
Good job. Yeah, I cooked a couple turkeys in my day, and I've done a good job. I've become kind of a chef. I'm the kind
Really?
of chef. Yeah. Okay.
There's
There's
someone. What's going
Charlie.
on behind you?
Charlie is coming in. I'm in the middle of chaos, but it's all good.
What's what do you what chaos is going on for you, buddy?
Just my family doing its thing around me.
Family. Oh,
Colleen says hi.
hello, Colleen.
She is off to her performance
Oh,
of Miracle on 34th Street
oh
at the
wow.
Lakewood Theater. She's acting again. It's really cool.
Nice. Oh, very cool. What's she
And
playing?
Miracle on 34th. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Mrs. Higginbottom, Mrs. something something.
Okay, okay.
Uh, I don't know. She's one of the Macy's employees. It's like a solid medium-sized role. And
Yeah,
these are like, not to get off on my wife. That sounded weird,
that
but
sounded weird.
um,
That'd be a
you
better way
know,
to say that, Dan.
not to get all excited and start to kvel, which is Yiddish about my wife. It's a all sold out,
Oh wow.
and it's like 250 seat
Wow.
theater in. It's like a decent regional, got to audition, get paid
Yeah,
a little money
that's
show
awesome.
as opposed to the black box drudge you and I used to do when we would rent a theater and
Hey, you want to come in and see a
Whew.
show? No? Okay.
uh,
Yeah, that kind of a thing. Yeah.
I mean,
Are we
I
gonna
have to admit,
are we
no,
gonna
okay, let's not go
nostalgia?
there.
You want to
Let's not
nostalgize?
nostalgia. Enough,
Okay,
enough.
okay,
We got
okay.
32 followers and we've nostalgia enough. So let's cut the bullshit.
All right,
Okay.
let's cut it.
This is what I want to talk about. I often think about this. The fact that um, respect, the core value in this country of respect for one's elders,
Hmm.
has, I think, diminished
Yeah,
at a rapid pace to the point where I notice that there is just an open contempt for baby boomers.
yeah, that's true.
Um,
I would say that. Yeah. Hey,
there's an
boomer.
absolute, yeah, I mean, there's an absolute contempt. So when we were young, I think we had a reasonable contempt for our elders, as did our parents, who were the hippies, sort
Yeah,
of saying, "Dude, you guys are square, and we're rising above your values." But there was an acknowledgement that when I was young, there was an acknowledgement, yeah, you should respect old people, and there was an awareness of that. And now I see that as gone because, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's the absolute contempt for boomers, and maybe a lot of people would consider us boomers.
well, yeah. I mean, look, we're
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 not.
old
We're Gen
now.
Xers. Yeah, but we're Gen
Yeah,
Xers. There's a
yeah,
difference. Our shit started going downhill
yeah. I mean,
after our
yes,
generation. Things started getting a little worse for us. The pension, 14% of us have pensions.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
both my parents have pensions.
yeah. I mean, I have. What do I have? I have a 401b, which is like a
Yeah,
401k.
401B. I mean,
It's. I
just
know,
listen
I
to the
know, I
sound of
know,
that.
I know.
It's
It doesn't.
going, that's go.
But Dan, I got Social
Four,
Security. I mean, surely that will be enough.
yeah, 1,700 a month.
That much.
401B.
I know, I know.
What is that?
Well, it's the equivalent of a 401k, but it's for
But not.
nonprofits.
But
But
yeah,
I mean, it's all
I
the
have the
same
same kind of thing.
thing.
It's
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
same thing, but we have to create our own
Right, 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 right.
retirements. It's coming out of
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
pocket.
Is there less respect for older people? Yeah, I think so. But I also wonder how much of that is just we're
Hmm.
noticing it now because we're older. I mean, I didn't have respect for older people. I think for most of my life, I mean, I appreciated the fact that, yeah, there were generations that were called to do things like, a World War II vet,
Hmm.
that actually was in battle, Europe
Hmm.
or in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Like that was an extraordinary thing that generation was asked to do, and by all accounts, they did it. I mean, they stepped up, and there's an argument to be made that generation was perfectly suited because they were respectful. They were
Yeah.
willing to follow orders. They could see that they were a part of a bigger thing, and they were willing to
Right.
give themselves. I don't know, if a situation like that was to happen today, with this young generation, I don't know that sense of community spirit is there. But also, whose fault is that? It's not like the country has been there,
Yeah. That's the
for
fault of the
them.
old people. That's the fault. It is. It
Is it?
is. Well, yeah, because can you think of a scenario where we would have a honorable war in this country?
Well, yeah. So I mean, yes.
No,
You,
I don't
you,
want my kid to go to war for
no,
this
no.
president.
I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. And I think that's also where there's a lot of where why am I going to respect this generation that put Trump into power? And Trump is a prime example of someone who is disconnected, living in the past, grew up with privilege, doesn't understand
Yeah.
the modern world,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
but
He's the
also,
ultimate example, but
yeah.
that sense of you guys really don't get it. That's a cliche to say to, but there was a time, the idea when we were young, the idea was my parents have experienced life and they know a little bit about life and we can go to them for counsel and they're going to hand off. I'm going to learn to be an adult from my parents. That's diminishing
It has,
because
and
the
yeah,
generational gap is widening.
there's been so much changes in society, and there's been so much changes, like this idea of this has been popular probably for like 15 years, maybe even longer, where the older generation says to the younger generation, you know what, just stop going out for coffee and having avocado toast and you'll save money and you can get a house. It's like,
Hmm.
well, yeah, but when you bought a house, you could do it on one income, and the
Hmm.
price was significantly lower, and it was
Yeah.
easier to do. Now, the price of buying a house, like I just saw a couple of weeks ago, the average homeowner in America was a first time homeowner buyer, was like 25 years old. Now it's
Hmm.
40 and up. So it
Hmm.
takes twice as long to save enough money just to
Yeah.
get your first house. And
And
it's
that's
like,
just not,
it's not
that's not
fair.
livable. That's
No,
not doable.
it's
That's
not
not a,
sustainable.
yeah. And that's why, like, I would love to see, I want AOC for president.
Wow.
I do,
Yeah.
because I want to get inspired.
Yeah. Well, I think it's,
I don't want to see a
yeah,
boomer enough
I know. I'm with you on
with
that.
that. I want to
Yes.
be, and I can hear
Yeah.
my mom's voice, just this typical Democrat, boomer Democrat
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that, and I have to admit, I have a certain lack of respect for it. A boomer, moderate Democrat
No more Schumer. No
that
more
really,
Pelosi.
yes, that
No
really
more
has,
Biden. It
that
went on too long.
when they were young, they were part of the hippie generation and they were part of the 60s. They had no problems, they had no stake in the game,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
I have full respect for people, boomers, that really put in the work and fought for social justice.
Hmm.
The people that marched across the bridge in Selma. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't there a bridge?
Yeah.
And ADHD. I mean well. I mean well.
You mean well.
Um,
By the way, boomers didn't have ADHD, Dan.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's
Right.
an invention of your lazy generation and inability to focus on what's important.
And I will say, you know what? We were a little, we're a little lazy. Gen Xers,
Well,
we began a little bit of slacking.
but here's the
I
thing
will
though.
admit that.
Like, what my parents would say to me all the time, especially my
Hmm.
mom, it was always like, we sacrificed so hard so that you could have it easier. All right, it worked. I got it
Hmm.
easier. Stop telling me
Yeah,
I can't appreciate how hard it
yeah,
was because you decided to make it easier for your kids. It worked. It was so easy, in fact, that I don't have to go into the mines uphill in the snow every day.
yeah.
It's like, stop telling us we were lazy and don't appreciate it if you decided to give us a better life.
Right.
And
Plus, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it just and
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing though.
The
So it's
guilt
like
trip.
the guilt trip, and then the technology has changed so significantly. Like, I think,
Hmm.
again, like my parents' generation, you joined a company, and
Hmm.
for most Americans, you stayed at that company until you retired and you had a pension, right?
Hmm.
Now, like, most Americans, they're going to work at five, six, seven, eight different companies,
Hmm.
by the time they retire. And
Yeah.
there is no pension. Almost no companies do pensions anymore. It just, things have
Right.
changed, and technology
Yeah.
has also changed. So whatever, my parents are past now, but that generation that still gives advice about stuff, it's like, okay, but when you work from home and you're using Zoom, and I'm also putting money into Bitcoin, they're like, what?
Hmm.
It's like that's the world that the younger generation is living in. So there really is this huge divide. I think. I mean, we talk about a generational gap all the time, but
Hmm.
this to me feels like in the last three or so generations, there is a huge divide. Like, when they write the history of this time, there is definitely going to be a big gap, and I do
Hmm.
think that Trump absolutely represents the last death grip of that
Hmm.
generation, holding on to
Yeah.
power,
It's
exerting
can.
itself.
Yeah. And I tell you what I get sick of. This is what I really get sick of. And Mark Maron hinted at this. Boomers and late boomers that don't have our back. They don't have the progressives back. They feel like we did liberalism right.
Right, right.
And now you guys are going too far. And when you when you diss these things that you're actually ignorant to, you're helping the right.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're putting the right wing in power. So this boomer idea that we knew how to protest. You had nothing at stake. You had privilege. And now it's kind of taking its toll. Young people don't have that. In many ways, young people have taken up the reins in some respects of social justice and have the right idea. I realize that a lot of it sounds annoying and it isn't messaged as effectively as right wing voices,
But it's
but
easier for them.
take the
All they got to
time.
do is be angry.
It's being angry. I know.
Yeah,
Right,
and just
right.
be
it's
and
low
yell about
hanging
Mexicans. That's
low
that's
hanging
that's it.
fruit,
It's yeah,
lowest common denominator,
yeah.
and so for instance, I have always been pro Bernie fucking Sanders. Always. Have you?
Oh yeah, yeah. And there's an old guy,
He is
and
he
actually,
is a guy
your whole
that is
point.
going to make a better life for my
Yeah,
son.
yeah.
Period.
Your whole point
My
about the boomer Democrats, they sabotaged him. I mean,
I know
he had the
exactly.
nomination, and it was the Democratic Party that stepped in to
Yes.
snatch it from him and give it to Hillary.
Yeah. And that to me, that was monumental. That's a big deal. And I
That's a
remember my
very big
mom
deal.
saying things like, he's not good, he won't win, and you can't have everything for free, like he's some kind of socialist.
Yeah,
You are Joe Biden was again, everybody's like, I knew it. I
yeah,
swear.
yeah.
Uninspiring.
Yeah.
We need so and yeah, so again, AOC for president because she is a voice for the working class, for the middle class.
She's also a voice for that emerging generation, and
Yeah.
I do think, like, this generation coming up, they have not had the luck that previous generations have
Hmm.
had. And not even
Yeah.
about luck. It's just things have become so outrageously expensive.
Right. So you get avocado toast is your version of a house.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna fucking afford a house. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have some oat milk latte and avocado toast
Yeah. Why
and
not
take a moment.
splurge? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna
exactly.
microdose my way through the
Yeah, I'm not
workday.
gonna start saving for shit that
Yeah.
ain't gonna happen unless you work for Facebook or maybe tech it's a different path. You have tech people that
But that's in trouble now. I mean, AI is
yeah.
coming for those mid-level jobs now. AI is not just coming for the low-wage entry-level positions now. Like I'm in San
Hmm.
Francisco, and every day there's another report of Salesforce laying off people. In fact, the last big thing that Salesforce announced, they laid off 500 people in customer service because they think AI can do the job better. The next level up now is that mid-level management. Like UPS just laid off a bunch of people that did logistical stuff. Like,
Hmm.
okay, again, everybody is going to be put in danger from AI, and those mid-level jobs that like 5 years ago they were saying were safe, they're not safe anymore. So let's say you graduate school, you're 21, you got a great degree, something in computer sciences, something where you feel like I'm going to get in a really good position, mid management at Meta or Google or
Hmm.
something like that. Those positions are not hiring right now. Like we see in San Francisco news reports all the time, like they're not hiring because they don't need to. They're also waiting to see AI. So I think, yeah, this next generation coming up, I mean, there's going to be a huge debate around
Yeah,
how do we take care of people who did everything right but
right.
now can't get a job because the technology that all these big firms have invested in are meant to replace people. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what they say, that's what it is. I mean, for
Hmm.
them to
Hmm.
make their investment money back, this
Hmm.
technology
Right,
has to work so good that nobody's going to get a job.
right. And again, a guy like Bernie Sanders, he's just got his eye on that. And really, shame on boomers and Democrats that turned their back on him when it was his time.
He could have.
That
Can you imagine how different
that's
the
the
situation
person.
would be now? I mean,
Yeah. Hmm. So we all bear responsibility for that. I really believe that. Trump is going to be. I'm not excusing it, but um,
Trump is going to Trump. I mean, not
yeah,
to be blasé
yeah. When you
about it,
when
but
you have an
yeah,
ism named after you, that's what you do. That's what you do.
yeah. Oh
If
my
there was a
God.
if there was a Rothenbergism, I'm all in. I'm doing. That's what I'd be doing.
Let me ask
Um,
you this. Let me ask
yeah.
you this. So, what 20 years from now,
Hmm.
right? We're both going to be 20 years older. We will be old
60,
men.
73. Yes.
We'll be old men in the eyes of
Yeah.
society. I mean, we'll be old men, period, in the mirror,
Hmm.
in our own eyes. But
Yeah.
what does America look like? What do you think?
God, that's a great fucking question. That is a terrifying.
Yeah,
What does America look like? Okay. I would say that I'm not a technology expert. I would say cars are now self-driving.
yeah,
I would say, I heard my stepbrother once said this, and it kind of made sense. We might be out of ownership of cars completely. You're just jumping in shit, and it's driving you, and
yeah.
maybe you don't own cars anymore. You just
That feels like that's farther in the future, but I can see. I
farther.
mean,
Okay.
like you see the like bicycles and scooters that you can rent in the city, and I
Uh huh.
think that's probably going to end up being, yeah, like, oh, I got to get across town. You know what? I'll go online and I'll rent a vehicle, and it will
Hmm.
show up and drive me. Yeah,
I mean, that's happening.
it's happening.
Waymo is
Yeah,
happening. Just way more of that. Um, yeah, way less mid-range jobs. Um, okay, so you probably be better spoken on this than me, but I have a son, right? He is and I'm really excited for him because he's a He's a costuming passionate. He does costumes like we do comedy, or I used to do comedy. He's just
He's good
improving,
at it
improving.
too. Yeah.
And I said to him, I had I give him, he gives me 5 minutes from time to time to spill my bullshit wisdom on him, and I just say it. I just like, you give me 5 minutes here, pretend like you're listening to me. And
All
I
right,
was
go,
telling
Dad.
him, yeah, I was telling him, if one thing I have learned in life is there's nothing more valuable than a skill you acquire over time, and you keep working on it and working on it, like you as a comedian, and you just go, I'm just fucking good at this, and there was no shortcuts.
Hmm.
That's going to get you somewhere in life. And I miss, don't condescend to me when I say
No,
this, because I have
no,
no
no.
problem
I'm
with
listening.
this.
Yeah.
There is something very special about a creative excellence
Yeah.
that I used to feel as a comedian. I don't feel it anymore. But I
Hmm.
recognize, I just don't feel it. And people say, what do you miss about comedy? I miss being good at something.
Hmm.
Every going up and up and up
It felt
to the
good. Yeah.
to the point you just know what you're fucking doing. You own that. I can go up. I notice this. I can go up tomorrow and have a competent set. You never
Yeah.
lose that. I can go and
Yeah.
tell some jokes. I
Yeah.
can even have a set in a showcase where they go, "Wow, you're a real pro." But I cannot be in the moment like I used to. That's
Well,
where you
it's.
get rusty.
I'll tell you though.
Owning
Yeah, but
those moment to moments.
I'm still performing, but I was just thinking the other night, like, yeah, there, and maybe it's a factor of age, maybe it's, I don't know, but yeah, I feel like my abilities are no longer at the top. Or how do I say this? Like
Hmm.
I was watching a comic last night or a couple of nights ago. He was on a show, my show, and I'm watching him, and I've seen him over the years, and it feels to me like, yep, everything is now turned
Hmm.
into place, and just
Right.
everything was hitting, and he was just coming across
Right.
clear, confident, funny. Everything was working, and I'm like, you know, that made me remember like what you're talking about, and I remember
Hmm.
like, okay, I remember working hard to get at the top of my game, and then being one of those comics where other comics were watching and like, oh, check this
Hmm.
guy out, and that felt good. Now I realize, like, yeah, I'm a competent comedian, I'm good, but this guy was talking about things of his generation. He was talking
Right.
about things in a way that I could not
Hmm.
communicate because it's not my
Absolutely. If
time.
Yeah,
It's
because it's fucking over. It's over. It's good. You got to embrace
you
that.
got to embrace that, and
You
you
got
got
to
to leave
embrace it. You got to look
space.
in the
Yeah,
mirror and go, "Okay, it's fucking over." But at least I kind of know it, and I'm in there. I'm trying.
I'm still trying. I'm still in it. I'm not,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
to. I'm still very, very good. I'm not. To,
Right.
it's just there is, and I think this is the problem though. Also with generation shifts, it's hard to
Hmm.
let go and let the next group come up and fill space. And it's like, look,
Hmm.
it's your world, it's your time. You should have a bigger say in it, and yet, no. We've got all of these baby
Yes.
boomers that are
It's
holding
it.
on.
I was there's a very specific moment in time where a comedian becomes irrelevant.
Hmm.
Bam. And they don't know it
They don't
when
know
it
it.
happens. We know
Yeah,
it before they know it, and you
yeah.
go, it's over. Um, I'm just saying, it is what it is. It's not a Bill Maher doesn't know
He's a great
how
example. Yeah, he's a great example. He and
tone
it's
deaf. It's
yeah.
over. It's over. You're an old rich guy, and that's it. And
You're out
he'll
of
still get a
touch.
little mileage out of it, but in an instant, you might as well be on a fucking princess cruise. You are an entertainer now.
Well, it's
It's
funny. It's funny you say that.
over.
Like I notice more and more and more, of course, on Facebook, the people's social media.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of the comedians that we came up with, they
Hmm.
are now posting images of them they're cruise ship comedians. And I
Hmm.
think like 20 years ago
And good for you.
they would have made fun
Greg,
of themselves. You know what I mean?
Greg
But
Barrett's a cruise ship
yeah,
comedian.
yeah. I
And he
mean,
should be. You got to make a
they're
living, and it's
making, yeah,
great. It's
they're
great.
making
I
good
love it.
money. They're having fun, but it's funny how, and I think it's also changed. It's
I
not.
mean, those alternative comedians in the '90s and early. I mean, were the fucking shit. They were swinging, and they were funny, but
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
fucking. I was thinking, this is a whole other podcast, but let me say this, and then we got to get to because different types of comedy, anti woke comedy, which is a controversial title. But what do you call it? The manosphere
The
comedy
manosphere comedy. Yeah, yeah,
has changed the landscape of an election. They have influenced culturally the
yeah,
absolute landscape of this country.
yeah.
It's completely spread. The the opposite of that, the closest thing we've had to a comedy movement is alternative comedy. That's the other kind of the other side of it. Alternative comedy, which was started with by Janine Garofalo, and it has to do with kind of a hipness and a reverence and an in the moment being, in theory, clever and bringing your notes on stage. That spread, alternative comedy spread to the bar next to the venue. That's how far that spread. That spread to the fucking bar next to the venue when the comics would go over there after the show. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
the messaging difference. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it's because if you're trying to do funny, irreverent, clever, thought-provoking social commentary, which was what
Hmm.
I would say a lot of that 90s comedy was about, it's only going to limit it can only be attractive to people who seek that out, who want intelligent commentary, who
Right.
are interested in something other than the usual punchlines. Whereas the
Yeah.
manosphere, it was like, you know what? Let's just be Neanderthals. Let's not even
Yeah.
have any
Right.
highfalutin concepts. Let's just do all the same old stereotypes we've always
Hmm.
done and embrace them. And then
Just
anybody who
embrace
makes
it.
fun of us for
Yeah.
doing that, let's call them woke, as if that's a
Right.
bad thing, you know? So
And
one is
however,
hard. One is easy.
both movements, whether you're manosphere, alternative comedy, or Def Jam, all three movements are going to breed hacky formulaic
Oh,
comedy
sure. Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
going to have people get into it after and go, oh, this is what comedy is and this is what the crowd likes, and it's all of those. Any comedy movement is going to end in mediocrity.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
true.
You're right. It's
Even
so
if
sad. Yeah.
it's all going to outdo itself. That shit will outdo
Yeah.
itself because on some level, you have to be creating something new and clever. And the
Yeah.
guys who are good at it
Yeah.
are good at it. So here's an example. Joey Diaz, you know who he is?
Yeah.
I like him. Now, he could be considered anti woke because of his style and substance, but he was always doing that. He's a funny guy, he's a good storyteller. So funny is funny, always. I could listen to that guy talk about how he used to be a criminal all day because he is Nick DiPaolo. You could say, ooh, anti-woke. No, he's that guy.
He's been that guy forever too.
He's a funny motherfucker, and we're willing to step into his world. But it's the right. It's the mediocrity that steps in after the mold has been made
Yeah, and I think also
that gets hacky.
there's also an overinflated sense, like, to me Joe Rogan's ego is it's the biggest thing about him, and
Hmm.
he was never that intelligent, funny, clever of a comedian. I
Hmm.
remember watching him, this was now 20 years ago. I remember watching him
Hmm.
at Cobb's in San Francisco, and he
Yeah,
was presented to me as like,
I,
oh,
I opened for him
yeah, he was
then.
doing bad Asian driver jokes, and
Yeah,
not only bad Asian driver jokes, but ones I had heard before on stage. So it's like, okay,
yeah.
you're not only hacky, but you're stealing hacky material, and you're supposed to be, this social commentary genius. No, you were never ever that good.
He was never, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it was ever that good. Remember, he had a Netflix special a year or two ago. It didn't go anywhere
no,
because
because
that's not really what he does well. I
no,
don't
he's
think.
not. I mean, you can't have a podcast and then just like Theo Vaughn's a great example of like he's had a podcast for a while. He recorded a special, and by all accounts, they probably aren't going to release it because it went so poorly.
Mhm.
But there's this idea now in the manosphere that if you have a podcast, you are a stand-up,
But he
and
was a stand-up. I
he
mean, he started as
was
a stand-up,
he started as
and
a stand-up, but you can't just like, oh, I have a podcast now and I'm still doing stand-up. Nope, you got to be on stage. You got to
yeah,
regularly be
right,
working on it, and you got to have something to say other than the traditional old shit.
right. I have faith. The comedy will change. It just
Oh yeah,
has
yeah,
to.
it'll
There's a
swing.
tolerance.
It'll swing again.
It's getting old.
Yeah, it'll swing back some.
Yeah,
I mean, like just like
it's getting old.
politics, just like everything,
Right.
it's gonna swing. I mean,
Yeah.
comedy always is at its best when it's an outsider making fun of power, and that's the
Yes.
biggest problem with
And
this manosphere
they're in
bullshit.
power.
Yeah,
Right.
they're in power right now, and they're not so much like poking fun at stuff. They're punching down.
They're
Your
punching
whole
down.
act is
Right.
punching down,
And
and
it's
it's like,
all. And the
yeah,
thing is, it's always what I think they don't realize is it's always been punching down because they've actually always been in power.
yeah.
So again,
Yeah,
because
a white guy talking about like, oh, look at all these uppity black people. Like, oh yeah,
yeah,
that's really unique.
it's really the quote unquote left cancel culture doesn't have the power that it's been broadcasted to have. There's really
cancel
no
culture doesn't
woke
exist.
people.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, it does, but you got to
Well,
look at what is it? It's more
yeah.
on the right.
Well, exactly. The right will
It's
cancel people very,
the
very
right will
easily.
fuck you.
Yeah, yeah,
Canceling, technically, to cancel someone is to kind of assassinate their life and their reputation and their livelihood. That's what happened to with actual power. That's what happened to Lenny Bruce. That's what our president will do to people.
yeah, yeah,
Make you feel scared and threatened, and you even lose your livelihood
yeah.
because of what you're saying. It's that simple. It's been reframed into this idea of touchy left progressives canceling you. How? How do they cancel you?
Yeah, there was just a New York Times, I think it was New York Times article
That's a
about.
very boomer
I know
joke.
it's very
A
boomer,
New York
very
Times
boomer reference,
article.
but
Tell us all about it.
well, according to this news report, women have feelings. What the? They want to orgasm? Not on my watch.
Tell us about the
Oh,
article.
so they had an article on Louis C.K.'s attempting to make a comeback, and like with a lot of these articles, what's more interesting is to see the comments, and there's a lot of discussion in there about canceling, a lot of comments in there about what I don't think people even realize, like to bring it back to our ideas around shifting and generations and how they see things. Like if you're on the right, if you skew to the right and you're young, like, and I say young like under 45, your whole argument is like, he didn't do anything that wrong. He masturbated in front of a couple of women, and as a result, he is now a victim of cancel culture.
Right.
And I'm
Right. That's
grossly summing it up, but that seems to be like the big sum up,
Yeah.
right?
And that
But
is fucking right. That is I know this guy triggers me a bit. That is the
yeah,
ignorant,
that is very ignorant. It's
meat-headed
very,
version of
yeah,
that
yeah.
story.
And we could,
And I will
think we
back that. I have. Go ahead.
And I think we've talked about that in the previous podcast. We can bring that up again at some point, but that seems to be, now again, if you're on the right and you're above 40, right? It also is like, so what?
Right.
They've even shortened it down to even more like, so what?
So
he
what?
didn't hurt anyone.
That's
He
enough.
didn't
That's
touch
enough.
anyone. Just
He
so
was
what?
whacking it.
He was
Right.
whacking it. So what?
Whacking it.
Almost
Right.
like what, I can't imagine what the 1950s must have been like.
Oh my God.
Like
He what?
yeah. but like people must have been just walking around just slapping
Yeah,
women all the time and just
yeah.
like yeah, so what? Yeah,
Fucking backhand.
that's what she's there for.
I tell you what, 50s would say. He was nice enough to ask. What? Yeah. And we were. I remember Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah,
Leave our boy alone. He got a blowjob.
yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
I mean, so we've all grown.
Greatest economic expansion in one presidency. Ah, who didn't deserve a blowjob? Come
We didn't
on.
deserve a blowjob.
Yeah,
Yeah. The also the beginning of the what is it? The prison industrial system.
sure.
But whatever.
Whatever. But I think the big thing about this is the discussions that don't happen for that older generation was around the power dynamic,
Hmm.
right? Like that's the
Right.
big thing, and you lean into it. I think it was 8 women who all said they had this experience with him, and even then, people can be dismissive, like, well, why couldn't they leave? And it's like, listen, you're a comic on the road. You're
Yeah.
hanging out after the show. You're in the headliner's motel room, which is big. It's not some shitty little Motel 6
Yeah.
where you're all sitting on the bed. There's couches, there's chairs. He goes to the bathroom. He walks out masturbating. Now you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is not, it's
That's
weird, it's gross,
horrible.
it's horrible.
And
And these women did say stuff, and they said stuff for
yeah,
years. And
they said
everybody,
stuff
everyone was
to
like,
me back in
yeah.
the day. It
I mean,
was
I heard secondhand stuff, that I was like,
yeah.
and I remember opening for him as well, and just thinking,
We
like,
don't
man,
want
this,
we don't want
yeah,
to know.
I
What do
don't
you want
want to
from me?
know.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
don't.
to.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to. Yeah. What do you want? Just I'm trying to live my dream.
it's
But here's the bottom line on that. Isn't exactly. So you say to me, so what? He should never have a chance to. No. Anybody we li- anybody can come back, do their thing, perform. People want to pay to see him. The bottom line is he allowed the narrative to get conflated into he was punished for his kink. His kink is a vanilla whatever, as long
yeah,
as it's consensual. His
yeah,
kink,
yeah,
you want to whack it in front of people. The position he put them in, it's important. It's happening all the time for people on the other end of that power dynamic. The position, the humiliation,
yeah,
to have a dream and you want to be a comic and you're looking up to this guy and then you're stuck. If you say no, what's he going to do? You're now you're the asshole. You're the
right, right,
pariah.
yeah,
Now, whatever help you might have gotten, it's not fair, and it's very humiliating and traumatizing and heartbreaking. And he he needed to keep that afloat. So this is what would vindicate me for him. Ish would be for people to say to correct that narrative and people to say, oh, you got canceled because you're a little kinky, to say no, it wasn't about that. I put my fellow comedians in a horrible
yeah,
position
yeah.
and it was wrong, and I'm lucky to be coming back. I'm lucky to
Well,
get a second chance.
here's the
And
thing.
that would be actively raising the consciousness
He never stopped
of it
working.
all.
He never stopped selling tickets. He never stopped
Right.
performing. It's just his audience changed. The
Mm-hmm.
audience he picked up was right wing. The audience he picked up now,
Are they?
oh yeah, yeah,
I
like
don't really.
like
Yeah,
and his
and
comedy
that's
suffered. His comedy suffered for it. His comedy became more derivative, less empathetic,
right. And
less interesting. Yeah,
to allow that narrative to move forward, you make the world a bad place now.
yeah.
You're
And it's just-
actively
yeah.
and I'm sorry, that fucking it matters to me. And on top of that, he was supposed to be the honest guy.
Right.
He masturbated on all of us with his bits. We all got a little. He had to talk about his sex life
Yeah.
and push it to the point it was a bit much for all of us.
That's the thing about
In the
it.
name of honesty.
Right. Like that's
Now
the
you got to
thing
get
about
honest
him.
about this.
He could have.
We all caught one in the eye from Louis if you watched enough of his specials. Seriously.
No, you're right. You're right. But that's the thing that makes it so ironic to me. Like, if there was one comedian who could articulate
Yeah,
what happened, he could have done
have
it.
done
But
it.
he made the choice not to.
Right.
He's made the choice to
Right.
not go on the Tonight Show,
Yeah.
go on the shows and say, listen, I messed up. Here's
Yeah.
why. And then give a thought provoking, funny,
Right.
interesting, introspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go through it artistically. I thought he was going to do it.
I thought
and
he was
did
going
not
to do it, and he
it.
pulled back. He pulled
yeah,
back.
he got defiant. And you could see it. And does he have a right to do that? Yes. Go buy tickets and see his show. He's just not a guy I respect anymore.
Exactly.
Who gives a fuck? Does he? No.
Yeah,
I'm just a schmuck with a microphone
instead
with
of
32.
making,
Fine. I'm not trying to cancel him.
instead
It's
of making
just,
20 million a year doing stand up, he's making 10.
yeah.
That's really what it
He's
comes down to. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliantly talented guy. Most talented comedian walking the earth. And I don't want to see him.
And he's doing it pantsless.
And it's not because it's just a part of loving a comedian. We have love affairs with comedians, and when the love affair ends, it's not so interesting or funny. When you don't like a guy, you don't really want to laugh at his jokes. You like him, laugh at him. I don't care. I'm good.
So to bring it home, buddy,
Mm-hmm.
the older generation needs to let go. The younger generation
Yes.
really needs to figure out. But here's the thing that we didn't talk about, and I don't want this to sound like I'm making fun of them. They need to figure out how to articulate in a clear, mature way what the issues are and what they're going to do about them. AOC
Right.
is probably the best example of that. I will
Yeah.
give you that. But there needs to be more, and I'm just not seeing more of them. So I think both generations have their challenges.
All right, we all got our challenges.
We all got our challenges.
Yeah, the gap is widened, and I think the older generation needs to take a moment and try to embrace that which you don't understand.
Yeah.
Because it's important, because it's getting people elected that are making it worse for your grandchildren.
There, that's it right there.
That's it. That's
yeah.
all. I think I wrapped it. All right, we'll see you
Like and
next time.
follow us, people. Come on.
The Splain.
The Splain. We want
Splain.
50 subscribers by January 1st, or Dan has threatened to jump.
50.
We're just going to put that out
50.
there.
We go 50.
We're going to go 50.
Yeah, we want 50.
We want 50.
And I'll be grateful for those 50. Okay, we'll see you next time.